Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame podcast. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. The Hawks and Predators are going to drop the puck here in a little bit. In Nashville, we're going to preview the game. We're going to hear from Luke Richardson and give you our Who's Your Hawk picks for today's game. Before we get into all of that, make sure you smash the like button for us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Same deal on your preferred podcast app. Make sure you are following or subscribed. And also a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts would go a really long way. And you could follow our show on Twitter at CHGO_Blackhawks. Fellas, we have reached the point of the schedule where it is no longer murder and mayhem.
Yeah, hopefully it can ease up a little bit. Blackhawks can get some good performances against some teams that are a little bit more evenly matched, and this is perfect because both Chicago and Nashville have the same amount of points in the standings.
Yeah, and hopefully, though, the Hawks don't mentally go, hey, we're not playing teams as good as we were playing, so we can play less good than we were before.
Yeah.
Because then 8-1 losses happen that way.
That is, yeah.
So hopefully they, play with that same mentality that, hey, we are playing a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah.
Go out there and play like you've played,
Play like the bigger team.
Yeah. Just go out there with something to prove. And I know Thursday didn't leave a good taste in their mouth. They got outworked. They got outskated. They basically were on the wrong side of a 60-minute game of keep away.
Yeah, really.
So some puck possession would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that. That's my key to the game. Possess the puck.
Have the puck.
Yes.
And then when you do, shoot the puck.
Apparently, you don't even have to have the puck on your stick to possess the puck. So,
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we learned that last game.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You would hope that 8-1 loss to Arizona, when they certainly did take the foot off the gas a little bit, that's a learning lesson, right? That's something that he can point to that for. Luke's probably got that game in his back pocket for the rest of his tenure as Blackhawks coach.
Right, yeah.
Hey, remember that? We took them lightly and we got our asses kicked. There you have it. So let's take a look at the standings before we hear from Luke. The Hawks are 5-9-0. The Predators are 5-10-0. That means the Hawks are not in last place.
Yeah, that's true.
Hawks -13 in goal differential. Nashville -8. But again, when you talk about who the Hawks have played to start this season, it kind of seems a little more justifiable than the way Nashville's gotten off, because we talk about Nashville all the time as this kind of directionless organization who brings in, Ryan O'Reilly, and they're trying to do something, but what? And they're in last in the Central.
Yeah, they should be a little better than this.
Yeah, you think?
Based on paper.
Their goalies, at least.
I, much to Mario's chagrin, picked Nashville to make the playoffs out of this division because at the beginning of the year, I saw two really good teams in Dallas and Colorado and a whole bunch of meh. Mm-hmm. And I thought they had the best goaltending of the meh. But their goaltending has been meh, so they're in last place.
It's been worse than that.
Yeah, it's not like Yushi Saros. He likes to say no goals on TV, but he does not take that onto the ice with him.
He's giving up more than none.
Yeah, well,
sure.
I mean, the Nashville front office actually probably has to be. They're not happy. He's having a bit of a
bad season.
Regression this year, but I think that also helps them eye the future a little better because they've got Askarov down in the AHL, and he is going to be a really, really, really good goaltender. I mean, he was a high first-round draft pick, which you don't see a ton of when it comes to goaltending. So he could be the guy that might, ride in and maybe save him, maybe as quick as this season.
Might be the future.
Saros has just 1 year left on his deal after this year, and our old pal Kevin Lankinen is the backup. He's got 1 year left on his deal, so
Yeah,
he's
so
just biding his time in Milwaukee.
Let the young goaltender season a little bit more with the Admirals, and then see what he's got probably next year.
Yeah, but you never know if Saros keeps going bad or one of those guys get hurt.
Yeah,
you could see something. Now, I'm not saying call up Askarov and you're going to win the Stanley Cup, but you could see something like you saw with the Blues in 2019. They brought up Binnington, and he kind of came out of nowhere and got them going.
Could be.
I think a lot of these games that Nashville have lost, if Askarov was in the net, they probably have a better chance of winning.
Yeah, they're giving up a lot of goals.
So it's a good chance for the Blackhawks offense to get right today.
They've lost 4 straight coming into tonight. Nashville's last win was against the Edmonton Oilers, because of course it was.
Must be nice to play the Oilers. Jeez.
And I don't know, have they? Yeah, I was gonna say, have the Oilers lost since then? But yeah, they did. They did. They lost the Shark Oil Bowl.
Yeah, the Shark game was after that.
All right, why don't we give a listen to Luke Richardson, who met with the media, a.k.a. only Ben Pope, before today's game. Yeah, here's Luke.
You said Soderblom was starting. Hall, game time decision. Anything else to know about the lineup?
No, I think that's it. We'll just probably shuffle our left side down a little bit, and we'll have Hall, if he's ready to go for sure, play with Reichel, and look good in practice yesterday. So we'll just go from there.
Is it Phillips still?
Yeah, Phillips will be on the right with Kaiser, and I thought Philly had a great game last night, so we're looking for him to double that up today.
What's kind of the game plan for today against Nashville?
Well, they're a real heavy forechecking team, and that's where they kind of their bread and butter is heavy down low in the offensive zone. So we got to make sure we get back and break out pucks quickly today, just to kind of keep that D zone time for us down to a minimum.
I'm going to take the opportunity, since I'm the only one here, to ask some bigger picture questions about the first month. But I know you talked about just wanting the team to be more competitive and kind of take a next step in camp. I mean, the record maybe isn't great, but it's been a tough schedule and everything. Do you feel like they're starting to take that step that you wanted?
Yeah, I think we had a good start. I liked, most of our games. I think, there was games there for us to even win that we didn't, and that shows that we can compete and contend. I just want that mindset to get to the next level. That the killer instinct to get some points in some of those games.
In the shot count, I mean, you've lost most of the shot battles. I think there's only one game you've had the majority of that. Do you feel like that's something where you want to even it up, or is that kind of thing where you just are accepting that you're probably not going to have as many shots and it's just about finding other ways to win?
Well, I think there's two parts to it. I think one part is it's our fault. We need to have a little more shot-first mentality, and that's individuals, but also as a group. But also, there's games where, last game, for example, against Tampa, the second half of the game, we didn't have possession enough, so we're not going to obviously get the shot count up going. Yeah. So I think part of that is, for us shooting the puck, I find we retrieve a lot of loose pucks that way. So we'll maybe have more possession. So I think the first point on that is the most important, and that's our own mindset, is to shoot more. And if we're skating and shooting, I find it really works well for our team.
I guess the question I was kind of getting at is, do you feel like 50% possession is attainable, or is it just finding ways to succeed even if you're not quite at 50%?
Yeah, I think, I think we've given up, even if we're not at 50%, we've given up our opportunities to shoot the puck. We're losing 2-1 in the second period. We want Reichel to shoot that puck, not pass it off, and we need to catch up in that game. So I think, we might not get 50-50, but I think we can be a lot better than we are.
And in terms of you, have you changed anything about your kind of your coaching style or messages or just your routine or anything like that from year 1 to year 2 so far?
No, I haven't really changed much about myself or how I approach the team. We have a little tiny adjustments system-wise, but really it's still the same system with just a little adjustments. And I think everybody goes through that through the course of the season. So I like to be consistent, and I think the players respond to consistency and they get used to that. And it's just the execution part. That's what we're really going to start harping on. We mentioned it yesterday in practice. If it doesn't go well, we blow the whistle and we go again. And I think in a game you don't sometimes get a second chance, so we have to really demand that more as we go forward here.
That's Luke Richardson, courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks. Thanks to them for letting us use that video and audio for the show today. Appreciate that. So since Luke has spoken, it does look to be confirmed that Taylor Hall is in the lineup So we can go over the lines right now. Your top line is Connor Bedard with Nick Foligno and Philip Kurashev. Lucas Reichel centering Taylor Hall and Taylor Radish. Jason Dickinson centering Tyler Johnson and Corey Perry. And Mackenzie Entwistle centering Ryan Donato and Reese Johnson. Your D pairs, Alex Vlasic, Seth Jones, Kevin Korchinski, Connor Murphy, Wyatt Kaiser, Isaac Phillips with Arvid Soderblom in goal. So there you have it. Really interested to see Hall and Reichel together. Now that Reichel has scored, and even after the game, Luke said, great that he scored, but we want him to be aggressive. We want him to shoot more. I'm looking to see, is Reichel going to be obsessed with just getting the puck to Taylor Hall, or is he going to actually be a little more aggressive and shoot? There was a point in the game against Tampa where he skated like into the crease area, slot area, had the opportunity to shoot, and then just put a drop pass to literally no one. It just rolled harmlessly into the corner because no one was there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can just coach that out of him. And look, he's got the ability to make these great no-look passes and all this stuff, but man, just rip it.
He also has a very good shot. Like, use that to your advantage as well. Yeah, I hopefully getting the goal in the last game, even though he didn't know it right away, gives him some confidence, and that can roll into this game. Hopefully, having Taylor Hall back will maybe release some pressure that maybe Reichel would have had, when he's out there having the focus on him. Now that Hall's out there with him and Radish, it should hopefully kind of spread the defense a little bit more to have to worry about Taylor Hall now that he's out there too. Hopefully that can open up an opportunity for Reichel to be a little bit more aggressive as well. Yeah, the chemistry between them is going to be interesting to see. And I just, want to get Taylor Hall through a string of games here where he's healthy and just see what he can do, because it's just been so start and stop. And when he's been in the lineup and when he's been healthy, he's been pretty effective for the most part. And then it's just, you get a good string of play and then something, shoulder.
The team seems so much better when he's in the game too.
Yeah.
Well, everybody gets to be in their proper spots.
Yeah.
I mean, with Taylor Hall, with Reichel and Radish, and hey, Taylor Radish, anytime you want to start contributing, feel free.
Yeah, right.
This could be a good chance, because if you're going to have, just go to the net. Just go to the net. When you got Hall and Reichel out there, go to the net, wait for a rebound. Anytime Taylor Hall, Radish wants to start potting some goals,
It'd be nice.
it would be very nice. But you put Hall on that second line, then you can put Tyler Johnson back on that third line where he's a little more, suits him a little better.
Yeah.
You got him with Dickinson and Perry. That could be a pretty effective line, at least a very responsible line.
I like that. I like that trio.
Yeah, you got three guys that know where to be on the ice at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That's very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it kind of slots everybody into their right space. Credit to Taylor Hall. I know people are getting on him because he's been hurt twice already this season. But both of them have been on contact plays. That first one was a high hit, blindside, never saw it coming, couldn't really protect himself, hurt his shoulder. Then his knee, his leg got a little twisty the other day with contact. It's not like we're dealing with Alshon Jeffrey and his deep tissue nonsense from a few years ago, where it's like, oh, I sneezed, I have to miss the next 5 games.
Yeah, that's real, man. I've been there.
Well, yeah, but not as a 24-year-old NFL player.
Well, that's true. It's also true.
So, but seeing him work his way back and so quickly both times. I mean, we were doing Mario and I were at morning skate the other day, and in the scrum with Connor Bedard, it was an optional skate, which means not a lot of guys there, but Taylor Hall was out there, and Taylor Hall was the last guy off the ice in optional skate. And he came in, and he was, getting out of his equipment next to us while we were all talking to Connor Bedard, and he's out of breath, and he's just sweating up a storm, worked his ass off on the ice on a day he didn't have to be there. I give him a lot of credit for how hard a veteran guy like that sometimes might say, I'm good. I'm going to wait till I'm 100%, but he's working his butt.
Well, he's got stuff to prove too.
A former number 1 overall pick, a former Hart Trophy winner, and a guy who, goes to Boston and finds himself in a lower part of the lineup because of how much talent is there. And people are acting like Taylor Hall's ship has sailed. And yeah, he's had some injuries and all those sort of things, but he hears that stuff louder than anybody. He's a proud dude. He knows he can still play, and we've seen it. Those games he's out there, he is a factor when he's on the ice. He's not some old guy like just playing out the rest of his career.
Right.
There is a lot of good hockey left in Taylor Hall.
He's 31.
Right.
It's not old.
Right. And I I think
I hope not.
there was a moment in practice. I'm not going to say which player did it because I don't want it to become a thing, but there was Taylor Hall got tangled up with a guy in practice the other day. And you could see that Hall fell awkwardly. And you could see that Hall was annoyed about it. He's like, I am trying to come back. I don't need this shit. And I don't think he was mad at the player, but he was mad that it happened. Like, what else is going to happen to set me back? Like, it was just a complete. I think that if I'm trying to remember it correctly, he may not have even been involved in the play. Like, it was when they were doing the power play drills where all the players that are not participating are right behind the blue line.
Yeah.
And a player came around and they got tangled up and Hall fell. And he was like, man, and I saw him talking to Taylor Radish, like, can you believe that just happened? And Taylor Radish is shaking his head. Like, Hall's getting frustrated with this stuff, and I think that's why you saw him early in the season probably come back too soon from the first injury, because he's like, 2 games in and I'm out already? Hell no, I want to come and play. Hopefully this is the last one.
Yeah.
Because it is frustrating for him.
As Glenn the Giggity's Quagmire points out, Taylor Hall's birthday was 4 days ago, so he is 32.
Oh, well,
no longer 31.
He's
so
old
now, yeah,
he's old.
That
He's
threshold has been crossed.
31, still a young man. 32, old fart.
Yep, absolutely. It happens right overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned Taylor Radish, 2 goals, 1 assist in 14 games.
I don't remember either of those goals.
No.
No, I don't either.
I don't remember either of them.
And he was a 20-goal scorer last season. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's we all said that, coming into this year he could, had a good opportunity to duplicate that with the chance to play with, Connor Bedard, chance to play in the top 6 with guys like Taylor Hall, Lucas Reichel, Philip Kurashev, have that talent also around him. And he's had all those opportunities, and 2 goals in 13, 14 games, it's not going to get it done.
When we talk a lot about Kyle Davidson's patience, and there's a lot of other GMs who would have seen what Taylor Radish did last year and maybe extended him when they had the chance. Yeah. And he's an RFA after this year. They keep his rights, so it's a little bit different. But they were in no hurry to pay him early, and they shouldn't, because this is a prove-it year for him. And look, he's getting opportunities. He's playing with good players. And most nights, he's not noticeable.
Yeah.
He's not. It's not that he's bad. He's just not making an impact at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the season that's going to determine if he's going to be part of the core going forward, or if he's just been a placeholder for the last couple seasons. And right now, it's looking like a placeholder.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
I will say, though,
a lot of season left.
The other night when it was him, Reichel, and Dickinson was a line, they had a good game together as a trio. And yes,
the fixer.
Yeah, Jason Dickinson apparently makes a lot of things.
Give Dickinson
covers up a lot of
20-year extension
blemishes. Sure, why not? He's great to talk to in the locker room as well. But yeah, I would like to see some more consistency from Radish, and he's got this is probably the trio that makes the most sense as a second line with Hall, Reichel, and Radish. So if it doesn't work, I don't know what else you're going to do with him other than move him down.
And as Gravely Diggs points out in the chat, true, he has been very good defensively and very effective on the PK. So,
but you can find a lot of guys that do
Boris
that.
Tkachuk is also very good.
Yeah, you can find a lot of guys that do that. For Radish, it's got to be that offensive side of things that helps you stand out and be more than just Michael Frolik.
Yeah, he's got that Reichel to him where he's not hurting you, but you got to start seeing the offense at some point.
Yeah, there's got to be some. And like, as we project forward, 2-3 years down the road, and we look at the talent that's coming down the pipeline, a 6'3", 200-pound winger who can score 20 goals is something this organization needs.
It'd be wonderful.
So if Taylor Hall can prove to be that guy more than just a one-year wonder, that answers a lot of questions for them. And
Taylor Radish.
What did I say, Hall?
Hall.
Sorry, yeah, Taylor Radish.
There's a lot of Taylors.
That guy.
Taylors and Tylers.
Like, that checks a huge box for the Hawks, because let's say he does it again, maybe 20's out of the question this year because he's off to such a slow start, but 15-ish, 16 goals this year, they're able to sign him for $2 million. Like, not even that much. Like, that's a good value, but you got to see that he can do it because there are guys like he's taking a spot maybe from Colton Dock or taking a spot eventually from Ludwinski or from Ryan Green or from whoever. Mm-hmm. He has to, as much as he has an advantage for being low paid right now and has had a history of success, like there are guys coming for his job.
Yeah, for sure. If you're not making a huge difference, are you more in a year or two, are you more valuable being a placeholder for $2 million, or would you rather, as the Blackhawks organization looks at it, would you rather have a spot open where Frank Nazar could play, where Oliver Moore could play? Like, I think you might take the prospect over that.
If you're looking for a power forward type player, there's a guy scored his first professional goal last night, Colton Dock, that would love to play with Lucas Reichel and Taylor Hall on that line at some point. So the pressure's there. So hopefully, maybe today's the day.
Yeah, now that we've talked about it for about 10 minutes, he'll score 30 seconds into the game.
Here comes the 3.2 goal, 1 assist game for Taylor Radish.
Perfect.
And nobody picked him today, so
no.
Yeah, I might change my pick, but I'm not gonna.
I've talked myself into a change, please.
By the way, one thing we haven't really had the chance to get into since he's come back is that Philip Kurashev is almost a point per game player right now. He's got 7 points in 8 games. He's looked really good, and that was always kind of the big question about him was, okay, there are those games he looks good, and you see the flashes, but the production just hasn't been there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So far, the production's here for him this year. He's been really solid.
Well, he's got superpowers now that he's been stung by a stingray.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Pope was telling us about that at the optional morning skate. Said that he got stung by a sting or jellyfish.
Jellyfish, that's what it was.
Stingray is another story.
That's pretty super.
He had a jellyfish sting on the trip to Florida, and then the next day went just back into the ocean. Didn't phase him.
Yeah. Well, what are the odds of 2 days in a row, right?
Well, the funny part was he got stung in the wrist that he injured early in the year. So it's like, can we not?
Yeah.
Someone have to
pee on him?
Are we supposed to pee on him when that happens?
You can. If you want to, you can do that.
They asked in the chat too.
And if it's on your wrist, I mean that's not hard to do.
Was unavailable for comment.
He'll lose just walking around beaches. I got you.
I got it.
I got you. When they put the flags up on the beach,
he's got one of those sandwich boards walking around. Been stung by a jellyfish. $5.
Well, we have derailed. It took that long, though.
It took us 24 minutes. That's a new record.
Yeah,
very good.
That's true.
Good job, guys. High fives
nice.
all around.
Way
all right.
Go. Hey, who are our Hawks today?
Yeah, let's do it. Who's your Hawk?
The jellyfish.
Who got first pick today? Greg had first pick?
I had first pick because I haven't won in forever.
Yeah,
you didn't win recently, and you have the least win.
Yes, I have the least. The most less recent, I don't know, whatever. I picked first, and I took Kevin Korchinski because I'm not allowed to take Connor Bedard by rules.
Update. Sorry, real quick. Kevin Lankinen starting in goal today for Nashville.
Hey, there you go.
Game. There goes those 2 Taylor Radish goals.
So the revenge game of Kevin Lankinen.
I took Kevin Korchinski. He's scored his first goal a few days ago. Had the assist on the Reichel goal. He's getting more time on that top power play unit.
Yeah.
So be
now,
nice
is he on the top power play unit, or are they
kind of
changing him out?
He's not
quicker.
on it, but he's been getting it seems that Seth Jones is out there for the initial face-off, and then once they have established possession for 30 seconds, then he gets out there.
The power play shifts are shortening.
At least, yeah. So, but I mean, he's. I know a lot of people get Seth Jones off the top unit, but Korchinski out there. Power play hasn't been bad this year because Seth Jones on it.
No.
But, it also helps that he gets on it for those few seconds and they score right away.
Sure.
So it does. So, yes, I'm going with Kevin Korchinski. I think the youngster is going to get me a couple of points today, and I can look ridiculous in that helmet around.
Better you than me.
Around 4 o'clock this afternoon.
I tried to Galaxy Brain it last game and go with Jason Dickinson. He did get an assist, but obviously, or no, was that that was the.
No, that's right.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Reichel, I had Reichel. He had a goal.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. That's what it was. So I'm going to try and do it again with Ryan Donato. He was trying to make a lot of things happen in the last game. Really had a lot going for him. Even though he wasn't able to make anything out of it, he put the effort in. He was buzzing around. That fourth line with Reese Johnson, Mackenzie Entwistle, and Ryan Donato has got a little bit of something for everybody, and it'll be interesting to see what can be done. So I'm going to go with Donato. I wanted to try to change it up a bit, so we'll see if he gets a tip-in goal or something.
We appreciate you saying that, but we know you're just trying to keep it more competitive. You want parity in Who's Your Hawk, so you're trying to let us catch up, which we appreciate. And
sure.
to do that, I picked Connor Bedard because you're allowed to pick him once a week, and no one else picked him, so I'll take him.
You can pick. No,
You can't pick him back to back.
Can't pick him back.
Oh, back
That's
to back.
our rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I didn't pick him.
Most weeks they've only had a game or two, so
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. All right. No back to back, but yeah, I'll take Connor Bedard today. I was tempted to change my pick, but I said don't overthink it. Close that gap on Mario and take Connor Bedard. So I'm going to do that. So it's going to be a good time. So all right, we're going to be back
Can't
after
wait
the
for
game.
Donato hat trick.
Yeah. Hey man, that would be great. I'm down for that. I like him. Good talker, good dude, and there's been a couple like really nice plays he's made in the last couple games. They didn't turn into anything, but they were nice plays.
Sure.
It's half the battle.
Yeah. Make it look nice and make it someone else's problem. It doesn't go in.
That's right. All right, we'll talk to you right after the final horn in Nashville. Thanks for being here. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. We'll talk to you later on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.